Do we say there that this woman is so narcissistically charged that it is all about her, that it's her reflection in the eyes of that child, and when she's not there, this child is not allowed to be there either?
I love you, Dr. Drew. Goodness gracious, that is exactly what it is, because everyone is looking at this like, oh, it was a mercy killing, that no one in the world would be able to care for her like her mother. But this is murder. That is the bottom line. Her thoughts were so distorted, Dr. Drew, that she said that I am the only person in the entire world that could ever love and care for this child in the right way. So if I'm not here, then she doesn't deserve to be here either.
But now, Mark, although Spirit and I are using our little clinical way of speaking about this, there's a factual issue here, a factual phenomenon at issue here, which is that if that mom dies, this kid's going into a state institution. She doesn't just have cerebral palsy. She's got a destroyed brain. From what I've read from the attorney, she has encephalopathy. She has developmental disorders. She is going to be in misery at best, at worst, broken down with her skin eroding, her bowels protruding because of the degree to which this kid could break down. Isn't there a practical matter at issue here as well?
Without question. And let me just say, you went into the wrong profession. That was a wonderful argument. I will borrow that for the next time I'm trying to mitigate in court. That was very passionate, Drew.
Thank you.
I agree with you 100%, but I also agree with Spirit. At the end of the day, this is murder. What we're doing now is we're trying to come up with...
Stop.
Yes.
No, stop.
Yes.
Because
yes.
I agree with Spirit, too. But I'm saying, isn't there a practical issue here of compassion being carried out by that mom? Is there actually a real issue there as well?
But yes, but you stopped me on murder because it is murder. The state reduced it down to voluntary manslaughter, and I applaud them for doing that. They did that, I think, recognizing the mitigation that you brought up. It's mitigation. It doesn't negate her guilt. It mitigates it. So instead of looking at 30 years in prison, she's now looking at a maximum of 14. She could get probation. So the issue is whether she should get probation. And I'll tell you something. I'm a defense lawyer. If she's my client, I say absolutely. But as a human being, there's a certain value to a life. And she really screwed up here. And you know what? I'm not yelling and screaming if she gets a couple of years in prison. I'm not.
Yeah.
Both of your arguments are presumptive. Both of you.
Well, hold on. I know, but I want to get Annalise's opinion too, because we've all sort of said our piece, and we're all uncomfortable with this. Annalise, where do you fall?
It's uncomfortable, Dr. Drew. You nailed it. But surprisingly, I'm going to take a more lenient position than Mark on this. Usually I'm on the side of the prosecutors. I think the mere fact they took murder charges, they brought it down to involuntary manslaughter. There is the ability to use probation in this case. And when you're looking at, is this woman a threat to society? What was her character? What was her history? This is the type of case that we should be doing probation as opposed to putting her in jail. Yes, involuntary manslaughter.
Hold on, Annalise.
Yes, she should be charged and convicted in involuntary manslaughter. But I think that the taxpayers should not be putting this woman behind bars and with all of her medical issues. It doesn't make sense. This is a woman that loved her child.
Annalise, you're giving her, hold on one second.
One at a time. Mark, go ahead.
You're giving her, she's advocating the same penalty for this woman as some of my clients who get probation for stealing a car. Somebody died, and oopsie, mom didn't go away. She thought she was going to die. But
hang on. Hold it. Turn these two mics off. Spirit, last thought here. I got to go to break.
So are we saying then, are we setting a precedence here to say that any parent who is no longer able to care for their children, they can go ahead and kill their child because they won't be here to take care of them no matter how much they love them. No one else will be able to do the job. Think about the precedents that we're setting with the arguments that we're making today. Ridiculous.